So CBS analyst Mike Florio for the NFL is making headlines for what he said. And you won't believe what he said. And it seems like certain people just say anything just to see if they can get your attention or if they can get a rise or if they can get some momentum. And it's crazy to think that CBS analysts that have been around the NFL for a long time saying some things about Shedeur Sanders and lying flat out. He has said one of the worst lies about Shedeur Sanders I've ever heard. And the crazy thing about it is he stood on what he said. And this is what I tell you about guys make up anything about Shedeur Sanders. And this all comes around the quarterback competition that we have seen that played out in the OTAs and the mini camps in Cleveland between Shedeur Sanders and Deshaun Watson. So now Mike Florio insists, this is what he's saying, something was revealed. And man, it's crazy that he would say the things that he's saying, but we're going to talk about it right after this.
What's up, K-Sap? Yeah. James Ford, that's me. Let me talk to him. Let's get it.
Simply ball dropping. Simply ball dropping. Chopping up these topics, man. I'm simply ball dropping. Driving coast to coast, making moves, ain't stopping. Driving coast to coast, making moves, ain't stopping. Nah.
Hey, let me put you on game. These other podcasts out here talking that shit, but ain't repping the same. It's my bro K-Sap, chopping up topics for your optics. From politics to your top hits. Tune in, you gotta watch this. Exclusive material for your radio, stereo, pumping high definition. Stop what you doing and listen. We smashing all competition. You better jump on this wave. Somebody pass me a mic, man, I got something to say.
And now, your host of the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast, the man behind the mic, K-Sap.
Guys, you know I got something to say, man. We got to talk about this, man. We got to talk about CBS analyst, NFL guy, Mike Florio. He just said one of the worst lies about Shedeur Sanders I'd never heard. Now, Mike Florio is the same guy that had Chris Sims on his show when Deion had the great sit-down interview with Garrett Bush from the barbershop, and when Deion said that he wants to get a chance to meet with Todd Monken. And everybody weighed in that. Everybody, was like, why would he want to meet with Todd Monken? Is he going to try to persuade Todd Monken that Shedeur Sanders should be quarterback one for the Cleveland Browns? And they made a big deal about it. And Mike Florio and Chris Sims said Deion needs to pump his brakes. He needs to stand back. This is not a good look for Deion Sanders. It's not a good look for Shedeur Sanders. But we saw in OTAs in the minicamp that Dabo Swinney pulled up to the Cleveland Browns facility and had a talk with Todd Monken and his coaching staff. Nobody made a big deal about that. And they try to downplay it. Nobody really talked about it. It was swept up under the rug. So now that this quarterback competition is going on in Cleveland and Todd Monken hasn't made a decision to name his QB1 going into training camp, everybody got a lot to say. Everybody got their opinion. Everybody got their output. Everybody got their narratives. And some of these narratives are just downright asinine. So Mike Florio on his show, he said some things about Shedeur Sanders that is unbelievable. This is probably one of the worst lies I've ever heard about Shedeur Sanders. And it's unbelievable what he said. I'm going to let you guys listen to what Mike Florio had to say. And once we get done listening to it, I'll come back and I'll let you know my thoughts. Take a listen.
Last point before we break. I remember seeing some video from the early stages of the offseason program, and it was a simple little play where the quarterback got the snap, did a fake pitch, and then went into his drop. And there was a level of attention to detail that Deshaun Watson was displaying that was far more crisp and deliberate and intentional than Shedeur Sanders. I can't help but wonder, and this is all speculation, but it would fit with what I know of Todd Monken and what I've observed of Shedeur Sanders. I wouldn't be surprised if Shedeur Sanders was falling behind Deshaun Watson, and at some point there was a conversation, a very candid, frank conversation between Todd Monken and Shedeur Sanders about what he needs to do to take that job, and you have it in you. But you can't. It's not about just showing up on game day. You have to put in all the work. You have to do everything. And it's going to make you even better on game day. You think you're good now on game day when you're lackadaisical about your prep. You start locking in on your prep, and you're going to reach a new level of performance. And if you trust me on that, I'll trust you to close this gap and maybe take this job. That's completely plausible to me, that there was a frank heart-to-heart that maybe has unlocked Shedeur Sanders. And if so, that's very good.
Now, you heard what Mike Florio said. Now, Mike Florio insists that Shedeur Sanders is doing lazy work. He's not preparing himself. Everything is lackadaisical, and he's not working hard. That is a downright lie. We've seen the work that Shedeur Sanders has put in. We've seen all the off-season stuff. We've seen how hard he's worked in OTAs and in mini camps. We've seen all the footwork stuff that he's improved on. We've heard all the good things that the head coach Todd Monken has said about him and the quarterback's coach. And then Mike Florio goes on to say that Shedeur Sanders had to go have a heart-to-heart with Todd Monken. And Todd Monken basically told him that your preparation has to be better. You have to work. He said, this is all plausible. And he said, but it fits. So he's out here creating a narrative about Shedeur Sanders' work ethic. And Shedeur Sanders don't put in the preparation to be an NFL quarterback. And also he goes on to say that is the only reason why Shedeur Sanders has probably closed the gap. But what gap has he closed? There was never a gap between him and Deshaun Watson. These are the things that people just make up, this fictitious stuff. This is probably one of the worst lies I've ever heard, because we've seen all through OTAs and training camp, everybody commending Shedeur for his work. He puts in work. We saw even last year when he wasn't getting first-team reps, going up to the local college, going up throwing with the local college kids, putting in that extra work, attention to detail. And Mike Florio is out here spreading this lie. This is the worst lie I've ever heard somebody say about Shedeur Sanders. This is downright disrespectful at this point. You're just making up stuff. And I can see Mike Florio doesn't have that much respect for Deion Sanders or Shedeur Sanders. Now you questioning Shedeur Sanders' work ethic. And he had to go to his head coach, Todd Monken, to have a heart-to-heart, or Todd Monken had to pull him to the side and say, hey, look, buddy, you better get your act together, or you're not going to be an NFL quarterback. That's basically what Mike Florio is saying. So, guys, pay attention to some of these analysts, man, that downright disrespect Shedeur Sanders for no reason. It doesn't take all this. This is the negativity that people have been talking about. This is the negativity that we've been calling out. To go on your show on national television and say that Shedeur Sanders is lazy, lackadaisical, doesn't have preparation, and his head coach pulled him to the side and said, hey, you need to get your act together, or you'll never be a starting quarterback in the NFL. And he's saying this is the only reason why Todd Monken hasn't made a quarterback decision, because of that heart-to-heart that they had. This is the stuff that they talk about. This is the stuff that they make up. Where is Mike Florio getting this information from? He said it fits, though. He said it's plausible. See, these are the things that they say on national media in front of a broad audience. That's why the new Cleveland has took over. That fluff that and that gibberish that they talk about is crazy. But I'm going to tell you guys once again, man, I don't let it slide. I keep the receipts. I'm always going to talk about it. Y'all can come in the comment section and say, hey, don't be giving these people attention. Now, you have to let people know that they can't get away with this. So when you see it, I'm going to say something about it. And things like that is attention to detail because I caught it. I caught it. And that's why I'm presenting this to you guys on what he said. Y'all can go to his podcast and look at the whole interview, the whole thing that he was saying. It's unbelievable on how they just make up stuff about Shedeur Sanders. I see everybody in the comments section, #salute. If you're not subscribed to the channel, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, turn your post notifications on so you know every time Simply Ball drops another hot banger. Oh yeah, just in case I forgot, tell a friend to tell a friend. It might not be for you, but it might be for them. And this is going to wrap up another episode of the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. I'm your host and the man behind the mic, K-Sap. We'll catch you on the next one. Deuces.
Thanks for listening to the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share on all major platforms.
That's all, folks.